In this video, we're going to count down the top 5 most common MBA interview questions and show you how to prepare a great answer. To prepare well, it's a great idea to plan out in full all of your answers to these questions, because these are very, very likely to come up. So the first question, which always comes up, is why you want to do an MBA. To excel on this question, you need to show a clear vision, a compelling and believable rationale that is linked to your future goals and past accomplishments. So I've got here a few ideas to get you started on creating your answer. And I would always suggest in any answer that you include personal interest, because that's one of the key things that they're wanting to see. Then you can look at how it meets your career goals. Increasing professional network is always something that can be used. If you're looking to start a business, you've got a well-developed idea, bring that in. If you're looking to stay in employ with another person, you want to look at moving towards senior leadership within your company or another company. So it's a step up in your career. So these are some ideas to get you started. Make sure you include the personal interest string. Once you've answered the why do you want to do an MBA question, the next obvious question is why here? I would say your answer to this question needs to show that you've done your research and you have a believable and compelling rationale for choosing this particular school. So that's what they're looking to see. One of the best ways to demonstrate this is to mention specific courses and faculty members whose work you'd like to follow. So if you pause this video, you can start putting together your answer. And these are 5 things that you may want to consider using to prompt you in the right direction and have a good answer to this. The third one is to give an example of a time you failed. And so to create a good answer, what you should have is something that's a genuine failure. You know, not something that's like, oh, it worked out wonderfully in the end, but a little bit along the way it went slightly the wrong direction, but I was really super brilliant. No, you want something that's actually failed. You had some idea and it didn't work. You want to see how it's well managed, and you want to have lots of learning achieved. So you didn't succeed in what you wanted to do, but you recognized that it wasn't going well. You recognized through, looking at the data or what other indicators that it's going in the wrong direction. You were honest and open about that, and you learned a lot from it, and that's informed you in the future. So you've got the growth, development, and the self-awareness. That's what they want to see. A terrible example would be a serious failure. So you've failed catastrophically. You've started with a really horrific example. You've shown like you're seriously incompetent. So you've shown that potential for serious incompetence. Or you've got some major character flaw that would render you very undesirable. And then after this serious failure that's shown you incompetence, you reinforce your incompetence by failing to reflect on it and develop from it. So pick your examples very carefully. It's a very challenging question because you have to have a genuine failure, but it has to not be catastrophic and make you look like an idiot. But the key to this being really successful is showing the learning and the progress. The next one that comes up is, what are your long-term goals? Typical interview type question. I'd say the best thing to have is ambitious but not delusional. So you don't want to show no ambition, because an MBA is a high qualification. You should be ambitious, but not delusional. Because if it's delusional, it just undermines your whole credibility. Clearly considered, you want it well planned out, well thought through. This is why you write out your answers, because that's the only way you can get clearly considered and well matched to an MBA program. So you don't want to talk about long-term career goals without linking it in a very solid way back to your rationale for doing the MBA. So a good answer, hit those 3 points, and that's the start of a really great answer. The 5th one, tell me about what you have achieved as a leader, or some variation on this, touching on leadership. A great example and a great one, you want to hit all the points on the up arrow. So it's relevant to an MBA, because if it's not relevant, it's not a particularly great example and they're not interested. You have to lead other people, it's leadership. You have to have had a positive impact. So you've actually brought about some sort of positive change within an organization. Real responsibilities, you have to actually show, I was accountable for this project. My reputation was on the line. Because if it's not a position of responsibility with accountability, you're not really a leader. You want to have multiple well-developed ideas. So if they start probing you, You can sort of move around examples and you can show, a breadth of leadership. Being a leader on one project once isn't particularly impressive and doesn't show very much experience, but lots of good ideas. So to really prepare for this question, I would have at least 3 fully developed separate leadership examples, hitting as many of those on the up arrow as you possibly can, and ensuring that it's got a positive impact, because this is supposed to be impressing the person. The worst ones is if you're working alone, that's not got leadership in it at all. That's a terrible example. If you've got little accountability, well, you're not really a leader. You should have some accountability. Little impact. So you led a project, but what was your impact? Would this have happened without you? You have to show your impact. And one example is always dangerous, because you've got one brilliant example, and then you get asked a follow-up question, something about how did you deal with conflict within this team? And you say, oh, there was no conflict. This team was brilliant. It would be much better to say, in this case, there was very little conflict and it worked very well. However, on a different project that you've already developed this whole answer, you can start moving to that and incorporate some of these points in it. So there's the top 5 questions. I guarantee you that the majority, if not all of these, are likely to come up. And to finish, I've got a little list that you can use and refer to in creating the examples. These are the sort of things that admissions tutors are looking for. So I'll leave you with that picture. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this improves your interview preparation. Best of luck on your interview. Thank you for watching.